Hello, and today is a drink review of a drink called K-Wave, or Quave maybe, Coca-Cola. And I think that's Korean right there. I think that's Korean, but who knows, could be like Mandarin, or like Chinese or something. Smells like a very sweet cola. Wait, smells a little bit like fruity. So who knows? Might be good. The color is like any other cola. Yeah, it has some type of like fruity taste to it, but I don't think it meshes well with the actual Coca-Cola part. Because to me, this tastes a bit like, you know, when you get some of these like super cheap Coca-Cola, like their version of like sugar-free Coca-Cola. There's like they're like overly sweet and they have like there's something missing to them. That's kind of like what I feel with this. Like that, the thing that like good with Coca-Cola is gone, and instead it's like just a generic like super sweet fruit flavor that doesn't work well. Try to see on the can what is K-Wave or Quave. Oh, it's Korean pop music. Okay, I thought it was like some type of. Well, I didn't think that. I thought it was obviously a name, but I thought it was like based on something. Okay, then it makes sense, you know, with so that is Korean. Heard any K-pop? I think many years ago, if they are K-pop, is Girls' Generation. Girls' Generation. Are they K-pop or? Yes, they are South Korean girl group. So I think I heard a few songs from them many years ago. Not very good, I would say that. This Coca-Cola, not very good. Actually, remind me a bit of that vanilla Coca-Cola. Like zero, vanilla Coca-Cola zero. Like I'm getting a little bit of that, like in a worse way, but like a bit more of that fruitiness. It is drinkable, but I would not buy it again. First comment by Lazul. The move sets in Gen 1 are very straightforward. What they tend to learn tends to be better. Hyper Beam is a nuke, for example. Psychic, Fire Blast, Blizzard, Thunder, etc. Those kind of things. It's like Final Fantasy, Thunder, Thundara, Thundaga, just use Thundaga lol. Yeah, when I meant learn set, I meant specifically level up learn set. Yeah, that was on my Let's Play Pokemon Yellow Legacy Part 2, Smelling Misty's swimsuit. Which, by the way, anyone wondering what does Misty's swimsuit smell like? Chlorine. What was I talking about? But yeah, I meant specifically the learn set, like the level up learn set in Gen 1 are very bad. I don't know if any Pokemon actually learns, you know, those moves that you mentioned. Maybe Alakazam, like that line, learns Psychic late on. But most Pokemon just don't learn. Like, if you take Rhydon, for example, I don't think Rhydon learns a single ground or rock type move in Gen 1. It only learns basically normal type attacks. So I think that is like the biggest improvement that the people behind the Yellow Legacy ROM hack did, is that they made the actual learn set, level up learn set better, which I think is good. So maybe that's why in Gen 1 a lot of Pokemon can learn some very weird TMs and HMs. Maybe because the learn sets are terrible, so Game Freak made it so that the actual TM and HM learn sets are a bit more expanded maybe. Big Smoke 44 Gaming 44. She deserves worse than just lose. That's what was on my short, which is Pokemon Crystal Legacy, how to defeat Whitney's Milk Tank. No, I don't think so. I like Whitney. Maybe it's influenced by, the show Whitney. And I just like how Whitney looks. But I mean, I think she's a good girl. And I like her team. Let's see. Another comment by Duplin. Man, I really dislike indies. They're so often creatively bankrupt, but at least this one used a Japanese setting that is underused, the pre-samurai era. Heian period and before. I don't remember how that's called, basically between Heian Yayoi period around there. And after my first look, Samurai Bringer. So, I don't know if it actually is pre-Samurai era. Just judging by the name of the the game. But I don't know, I don't really agree. I kind of like indie games. Some indie games, a few indie games. I mean, there's so many, so obviously I think majority of things in anything you're not gonna like. Even in stuff like, for example, miniature painting. Or if we take miniature painting. Most miniatures, probably 95% of them, I don't care about. So I think that's just something. And I think for indies, I think they actually have to rely more on their creativity or gameplay rather than, visuals. But Samurai Bringer wasn't one of the good examples. I mean, I had to stop playing it because I was like, oh, shut the fuck up, so bored. So yeah. But that's the point of the First Look series. To get an actual first look on games that I probably would have never paid attention to. That I have accumulated over the years. And I keep accumulating through, Epic or Steam or Good Old Game or Prime. Getting who knows, 10 to 12 new games every month. So even though I'm doing first looks, I'm still behind. Let's see. And by Duplin, I wonder if being inserted. Oh yeah, I answered that in what's going to become part 5 of the Crystal Legacy. Not Crystal Legacy, Pokemon Yellow Legacy Let's Play. I've only recorded the first part, I think a couple days ago. I'm gonna record. In part 5, I defeated Koga, and now I'm doing the Rocket Silphco. And that was a couple days ago. And if I decide to play today, we're gonna finish up Silphco and then gonna edit part 5. Let's see. Another comment by Duplin. I don't like shorts. They make my shins cold. And then Lazul said, also mosquito bites. Yeah, me neither unless I had amazing looking quads. I look better in pants as well. And that was on my Let's Play Pokemon Yellow Legacy Part 1. I don't know, like, I like shorts, that's my preferred. Even though I don't tend to wear shorts, I tend to just be in my underwear, which I am right now. When I'm at home, I'm just in my underwear. But when I'm outside, if it's not cold, I tend to go for shorts. I just like... it could also be because, you know, I sit down a lot. So you kind of want as much like free air and to reduce heat. That's probably it. I don't know, like, I prefer shorts. They're comfy and whatever the guy says. And that is in Gen 2, right? Or is it Gen 1? You know, the shorts guy. No, it must be Gen 1, right? Because I probably fought that guy in Part 1. And that's why that comment is there. By Duplin. Not Duplin. Lazul. Putazos. That's Mexican slang for beatdown, basically. It's like to receive strikes or to deliver strikes. An ass whooping. Anyway, use the Hylix OST one day too, maybe even the Castlevania Order of Ecclesia 1 to download that one is good. Maybe, we'll see. I do have the Helix one. I've used it often, probably won't use it for this time around. Because I did download the yellow, even though I think in part 4 I just used like a 1 hour mix of like calm Pokemon soundtrack, whatever. But I'll check out this Castlevania Order of Ecclesia 1. By CR1888 YT. Hi, I just bought these seeds to grow some of these. I live in Tasmania, which is the island state of Australia heart. I hope they grow okay. I'm starting them off inside and see how they go. That was on my Why I Won't Grow Bulgarian Carrot Peppers Again, the short. And good luck. You know, I live in Sweden and the sun was too much. They got sun scald and they were splitting. And it's not just that one plant, even the plant I have inside. Like, I decided, okay, the plant that I had outside, it got sun scald. Kept it outside. A baby did, like, none of my other plants suffered. And I did do, you know, what you're supposed to do if you grow a plant inside to begin with. You're supposed to put it outside in the sun a bit, take it in, so that it kind of like gets used to the sun. Because if you just put it outside immediately, it's going to get sun scald. And, well, the Bulgarian carrot did. Even though I did get one perfect Bulgarian carrot, if you looked at my community tab when I harvested. And weird enough, the Bulgarian carrots that we're growing now on the same plant are looking pretty good. Especially the one that is outside. They're like super straight now. They look good. And I think it's because temperatures have dropped. It's actually kind of like 14 Celsius. I mean, I'm looking at like inside right now in my room here is 24. But I think outside at the moment is around 14. Like during the night it might go down to like probably around there. And then when the sun comes up, it goes up into the mid 20s, right? And I think having those, that it isn't that warm, I think actually helps. So I'll say good luck for you in Australia with the Bulgarian carrot. I hope they go well. But if they don't, it probably isn't you, probably it's the pepper. Because it seems like it's a pepper that don't want like warm. Which makes sense if it's maybe like for a Bulgarian place, you know, even though Bulgaria does get a decent amount of sun. I don't know. Big Smoke 44. The second to last photo with the anime body pillow slapped so hard that it felt like it was on screen for a longer time. Okay, I don't remember slapping that pillow, but you probably mean something else. And that was on my 1 year of hair growth in 45 seconds. And yeah, that photo was actually there for a little bit longer. The last couple photos are there a little bit longer, just because I wanted, with the song that I'm using, the Mirror Bee theme. If I didn't do that, it would end like very weird with the music. So that's why I extended those last couple ones. And obviously the very last one had to be extended because it was supposed to be like, this is the final product. But yeah, that's the reason. Potato hole, you sure can grow one hell of a mane. I'll give you that. Thank you. And I mean, it keeps growing. I like having long hair, so I'm probably gonna let it grow now, I cut everything off, and I'll see how long it goes now for the years to come. Maybe I'll style stuff probably more with my beard, I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe I'll bring back, this mustache right here. Elite Rolo. They were slave owners. First time I hear this. On my first look, Star Wars Squadron. And then Chloe Goodwin, 2482, said no, they weren't. The Organas, and especially Leia, were always staunchly anti-slavery, as the royal family of Alderaan were among the original founders of the Republic. The Empire didn't outlaw slavery either. I mean, obviously, the Empire was evil, and they actually did slavery, right? Yeah, but I think it was more like a hush-hush thing for the Empire. Like, do slavery, but, keep it hush. I'm thinking, for me, when it comes to, like, the whole Alderaan thing, I think in the Knights of the Old Republic, and I'm specifically talking about the MMO, I think Alderaan was like majority slaves there, like 80% of the population were slaves. I think, I remember that. And also, I mean, Leia, with all her servants, terrible person, alright? I'm sticking to it. Leia is a shitty person. She's corrupt. I mean, just look at, like the Ahsoka show. Leia is corrupt. She's a terrible person. She's evil. She's like every other like of the bad politicians. She's not like her mother, like Padme. Padme also has faults. For example, during the Clone Wars series, there is an episode where Padme is kind of like trying to stop the production of more clones because it's gonna cost a lot of money, which I support her on that, and then one thing that she uses, is that one of her servants or handmaids live super poor, can barely afford to shower herself. Her kids, they don't have electricity. And I'm kind of like, wait, Padme, how come you're like the person who's right next to you, who kind of like takes care of you, your maid, your handmaid, lives in that condition? Like, you have to be complicit in that. You live super rich, all that stuff. Can't you spare a living wage for your handmaid. So, she still, I think she fought for the good of the people, but she wouldn't actually do that herself to the people who work under her. She would still basically pay them nothing, take advantage of them. And I think that's a little nice subtle thing they showed during the Clone Wars series, that the good people, they talk about it, but they don't live it, right? And my whole point with that, with the Organas as well, I do not believe at all that Bail Organa actually gives a fuck about his people. Maybe he really cares about them as his people, but I don't think he actually really tries to make them have like good lives, if you know what I mean, as the top leader, right? I think if you were to go into, the servants of the Organas and stuff like that, they would probably be in the same situation as the servants of Padme, which is they don't live good lives.